Probably the
snakes.
spiders. I saw Arachnophobia. That whole movie was based on the premise of a spider coming from South America that was like extra venomous and super smart and tactical.
Like, I think if you go to the Amazon, there's probably as scary spiders as there are snakes. But where I'm from, which is like much southern part of Brazil, I think the snakes are a little scarier. Like, you see spiders, but they're never really that big or that furry.
Are they poisonous, these snakes, or is it just
yes,
big?
there are a couple of poisonous snakes. The spiders are usually just chill. Like, they're those like really thin and small spiders.
Have you ever found had an experience with a snake where you stepped on it, or like it was outside your house or snuck inside or something, or do they?
So, I have a friend that has this like piece of land in the countryside close to where I live, and my friends actually went there, and a friend of mine was smoking outside, and when he was sitting in a chair. When he looks down, there's this huge snake.
Oh God.
In the in his leg, pretty much, and he's like, guys, and then like the other friend's like, don't move, I know what to do. Then he gets this like brick or something and hits the snake. But
wow,
I saw the pictures. It was a pretty big snake.
Damn,
that's actually that would not be not comfortable.
I'd be
with
afraid to miss with the brick. Because I'm not hitting it, I'm throwing that brick. I'm not getting that close.
Like, when I heard the story, I was like, is this really how you do with that snake? Because I'm not sure.
Although brick's probably better than shooting it. That's what we do in America. That's a small target. Now, what are we going to get a snake hero in Dota? That's something we haven't really
I don't know. Maybe it was
with
with snakes on her head or something. Come on, Tyri.
Well, I mean, I want a full
She's
snake.
the epitome of the snake hero.
No, I want Mortimer as a hero, but without
Viper
legs.
is basically a big green flying snake.
Yeah, but I want him to not fly. I want a snake. I want a water snake.
Dude, we have Venomancer. What is Venomancer?
All right. He's a Hydralisk, actually.
He's a banana.
Yeah, but come on. That's like the coolest snake you're going to get.
You're right. All right, fair enough. Yeah,
now,
he's pretty snake-like.
If we're actually talking about heroes we need, why is there not a frog hero? Because I know that he doesn't want to be self-serving maybe as Ice Frog, but we could really use a frog. I feel like it's time.
I think it's time, too. It's such like, 10-year anniversary. I think Frog Hero would be appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm in. Make him blue, make the Ice Frog references subtle. Get some dank
No,
lore
only the
going.
Arcana's blue, dude. Come on, you got to charge for that shit. 100% of proceeds go to Ice Frog.
Valve hired this man.
Now you're thinking.
I feel like I could really juice the audience of the cosmetics. I feel like I know what everyone wants. I feel like it's a win-win situation. Valve,
you're a man of the people.
Yeah, if you really want to bring me in for some consulting and get some percentage cuts going here, I think we could work something out.
A nice blue-collar Canadian there, that'd be perfect. You're on the pulse, man.
That's me.
Oh, speaking of the
pulse
snake,
of the impulse buys.
Viper out.
See, the snakes, they're terrified. They see this jungle background. They're like, oh my God.
I think this Viper's going to be meta. They were so impressed by Tal's performance. They were like, all right, let's just first face this guy. No one's going to ban Void Spirit in the first phase.
See, now, if we were doing the draft screen up here, we'd be banning Ursa and Lone Druid. I ran into bears. No snakes. Well, no scary snakes. Just bears. And moose. Moose are very scary when you run into them.
They actually are. They're humongous. They know. Yeah, they can mess you up hard. They got antlers and thick heads.
Yeah, I've been uncomfortably close to a moose before. That was in Newfoundland, though. I mean, there's moose everywhere.
I saw a moose in Wyoming once. It was big.
I didn't even know
it was
had
bigger
them
than
in
I thought it
Wyoming.
would be. Yeah,
do they hang out with the bison? I feel like there'd be bison in Wyoming.
Maybe. Funny story. My grandparents had a moose made out of metal. It was just like, a 2D moose in their front yard. And they had a deer or something come over and kind of like hang out with it for a couple days until the deer realized it was not very responsive. But they seriously had like a deer in their front yard, like rubbing noses with it and shit. It was pretty funny.
That's actually kind of depressing. That thing must have been really lonely.
Yeah, it was a... Billy
the same thing happened to me when I left my waifu pillow on the front yard one time. This guy just showed up and just stayed on the front yard for a couple of days, rubbing his nose on it. Next picks here, we have the Keeper of the Light, and they take the bristle. What's up with that?
Deny pick. It's a deny pick, straight up, dude. I'm like, whoa, all right.
I think it is, dude.
This combo's busted. We messed up. We didn't think they'd go for it.
I mean,
and
Bristle
they saw the Viper
is...
ban too, right? So they know they banned Viper. They're like, oh god, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have stepped in something.
Huh. I don't think if they actually play carry Bristle instead of off lane, it might lane pretty well versus Snapfire Centaur.
Is this just Cat's giant brain in action again? I really think it is. I think you're completely correct.
Yeah.
Radiant team ban.
And okay, we go for this Lark.
Interesting.
It's a good response to Bristleback, but I also don't know how good Lark is to compensate the fact that it's a good response to
10
Bristle.
seconds remaining.
Know what I mean?
Yes.
Like-
it's like
like when you
proportionally, it's
pick-
not that great.
5
When you pick
seconds
Meepo
remaining.
to counter the enemy anti-mage, but then you have a Meepo in your team. Like, what is actually better?
Dire team ban.
All right. They take the Necrophos.
Oh, yeah. That would have been pretty bad, eh? Bristle and Necrophos together. That'd be a nasty combo. They just need a very safe position 3. Maybe like a Darkseer. I guess the Darkseer stun's kind of bad versus
10
the Stampede,
seconds
though.
remaining.
Just thinking like an Earth Spirit pairing.
I actually like the Darkseer idea. You know, have this Earth Spirit, Void Spirit, Bristleback. I think all of these heroes would use and they also have Inkswell on top of it.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Team ban.
Not sure if they like it though.
And they still banned the Ember. That's interesting because that could have been the pick with the Coddle, right? You could have been like, okay, well, we'll at least take the Ember because it's so good. But with the Bristle, it's not necessarily that good versus Bristle since it's all like, you know, Ember's kind of balanced around AoE damage. And for Bristle, you really want the single target.
They take the DP.
Maybe Alina, is that worth it with all her crazy shenanigans of Laguna Blade these days? Or no, it's just not the way, maybe.
For
Incubus. It kind of feels just like a good Lina game. Like outside of the Bristle, like they're versus the
10
Void
seconds
Spirit.
remaining.
They have the Stampede. But then you have Coddle and Lina in the back line. You might maybe want a
5
bit more of a
seconds remaining.
in-your-face hero.
Yeah, I think so. Especially with the Earth Spirit too, because his cooldowns are so low. Even if you Stampede once, like you're always gonna be a little bit afraid of showing in lane.
I'm so caught up on this Bristle
Radiant
Coddle
team
combo. Like, do you need a hero that enables Bristle, or is he all right?
I think it depends if they're gonna play this 1 and 3 or 3.
Or mid?
True, but I really think they're playing Void Spirit Tau.
10
But-
seconds remaining.
All right, snap mid, 5
Probably.
Void. Let's go.
5 seconds remaining.
The dilation.
I will kind of want a DK for Gorillaz, but they have this Lark offlane DK, but they have this Lark, so I don't.
Come
think
on,
that's
give me
really
the
playable.
Chipmunk. Give me the discount break.
The Hoodwink. It
Hell yeah.
actually does have one of the better percentage advantages versus Bristle in pubs. Which makes sense, I guess, because
I think it's just a good tempo hero as well. The
Yeah.
break helps, but she plays it like, pretty fast, early
Mid
damage.
Hoodwink.
How
That
about-
would be cool?
What about mid Slardar?
That could also be cool. Although
I guess
little
the problem
scary.
is they still have the 10th because they could just put the Void 3.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
Viper's banned.
Slardar's still, I don't know. I think he really wants a melee matchup.
I think Slaughter, like you need a special type of mid player to.
So we just
agree
Stormin.
with
Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, you need Boxy, right? Like how Liquid
Yeah.
does it?
You need that guy that's not flashy. You need like a Fara, you know. You need your mid player to be very selfless.
How about
It's
Pango?
not that common.
Pango's okay.
Pango's fine. Pango's really good.
Pango, Storm
Got the minus
Spirit.
armor.
The
No
DP
mercy,
is
man.
still in too. That's pretty basic.
Did she just get banned?
No.
No, they just banned her.
You got banned.
Oh, they did. Oh shit! Yeah, there you
Timber? Timber's still in.
Is Pug not bad here?
go. Pugna's pretty good, but Timber actually did make it all the way through. And
So did Beastmaster,
that
I guess.
looks-
Speaking of those two guys, so did Bloodseeker. We got some options here.
I like the Beastie.
But Coddle Bloodseeker, man. The blood rights. The spam.
Dire team
But
What do you
the
got?
axes, though. Okay.
After
they're
all
gonna
that,
put
we
Tiny.
go Tiny. All right, I'm going to kill
Self-American.
everyone else. That's what Tiny's saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
Just
gonna ignore
toss
the
the bristle
bristle.
back around.
I mean,
just
that's a
ignore
Coddle
that guy.
combo. It's a lot of bursts.
Oh, they do it.
Oh, there we go.
I like
I love this.
Okay.
All right, Kat, I hope you're not listening to the stream. All right, that's illegal. But I
I think there's enough delay that he's safe. Don't worry.
All right, Darkseer, man. I think this is really good. It's not necessarily a great lane versus Slark, but the push from the Ion Shell is actually something Slark struggles against. So
Pretty cool with Bristle. Like, so I
Yeah.
was saying, how do we buff up this Bristle? You got Aghanim's Darkseer, you got Grimstroke. That's
Aghanim.
pretty good. That's
And
actually
Shard Grimstroke too.
Yeah, like Bristle doesn't have any stuns, so Inkswell is sort of huge to buff him up when he's playing as a 1.
Doesn't the wall seem like kind of bad versus Centaur though? I don't know.
yeah, it's not the greatest wall game, but not
I don't think they
every
picked
game
it
is
for
a wall
wall.
game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they picked it for gameplay and Ion Shell shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's also a pretty good Ion Shell on Void Spirit too. He's like kind of Ember-esque.
Yes.
He's not quite
Oh, yeah.
Lawnmower status, but and Earth Spirit. It's I have, as much as I don't love Darkseer right now, I have to admit it's a pretty sick Ion Shell game from their perspective, and there's no Dispel on Incubus.
I want it to work. I love me some Darkseer for sure. So we'll have to see.
I think
Well-
this really looks like an X game for Darkseer.
Another
Yes,
game
he
3?
gets one.
Or
This
you
is
think we're going
nuts.
2-0? What do you think, Bowie?
I want to go to game 3, but I think G-Pride has the better draft. If they play well, I don't think they should lose.
All right, Trent. do we
I'm
second?
gonna go the other way. I actually think Incubus. I think the Bristle was a bold decision to like steal it away, but I'm not like super convinced with the Ion Shells and everything. Let me see who's mid. Hold on. Did they? Oh, okay. Wait. All right. The Snapfire has Blightstone first. Yeah, I'm going for Incubus. He's got the big
Okay.
brain.
That's an interesting call, buddy. Now, would you have preferred them leave the Bristleback and let Incubus take it rather than snatching it for themselves? Like, you can always argue, yeah, maybe you should have done your bans a little differently. Once they were in that position and saw the coddle, do you think this was the best of what the mess they were in, or did they overreact?
I personally
curious.
just go like Razor or something if they went for it and just try and invade, fight their stacks, fight the
Okay.
hero. I mean, it
Play
depends.
your
Maybe they're
game,
really confident with Bristleback. Personally, I'm not. I don't really know how to play around Bristleback that well
Just
with
press
my team.
W.
No, I know how to play the hero, but I think he's a very timing special hero.
All right, well, we'll see if G-Pride's got the
jeez.
skills. I don't know. WQ, they're pretty close to each other. We'll see if they can figure it out. I mean, now you got to deal with the hairball, so that's an extra hotkey. I don't know.
true. Yeah.
But Gary, Theben, we got the resume. Boys, how do we feel about the Bristleback? What's the confidence level? Theben, I want to hear from you first, buddy. How are we?
I would just like to say that Bowie, I love the punchback, So he's always taking it. This time he had to deliver one himself, and I like that. And Bristleback, I think it's going to be good this game. You got Darkseer, you got Grimstroke, you got some nice buffs. I know it's not Coddle's Chakra, but you can make it work this game. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, it's not often that we see deny picks anymore. With the amount of bans and the way the drafts go nowadays, kind of surprising to see that kind of snap deny pick coming out. But I think you're right. Usually I would say it feels bad, but it doesn't look particularly awful this game. It looks pretty good. Cat, the drafting master, at it yet again.
I like it. I really do. I think Grimstroke also got the Bassi level 1, which is going to give a little bit of mana regen to the Bristleback.
Nice.
It's like a poor man's Cotto. But instead of getting that double quills, you're just going to have a little bit of a
30
stun
seconds.
buff that you can run it with. You know what I'm thinking already right now? That Shard Grimstroke with this Bristleback is going to be insane. Because that's going to heal him up. And any healing onto Bristleback is always so valuable because of that Bristleback.
Oh, absolutely.
I-
I mean,
can-
you can even
can
think
they
like down
not
the
be
line
li-
with like Aghanim's Darkseer with the Iron
Yeah.
Shell buff up too.
Why is there a hero called Bristleback and he has a spell called Bristleback?
It's like Doom, Doom has a hero. He's got a skill called Doom.
Begins.
Yeah, I think they gotta change that, man. It's just too difficult. Too
What-
difficult.
What would you name it to? What would you change the name for Bristleback?
I don't know. Porcupine back.
Yeah, okay. You're not in charge of naming anything, Theben. No, you're banned.
All right, well, I guess I know what I'm bad at. Thank you.
Good at Dota, bad at naming things. So how are these lanes set up? Everything as we expect. Like Slark with Cottle bot lane, up against Darkseer Earth Spirit. Mid lane's that Tine against the Void Spirit, and then Centaur with a Snapfire top. We've seen that plenty of times. Already putting the damage onto Argius and dropping him to about half HP. A little Shredder plus Blightstone. I mean, you were calling for this at the start of the season. We're seeing so much more of it. That level 1 little Shredder.
Yeah. And it's looking good so far. Lots of pressure. I think level 2, Bristleback's got to be careful, especially if Centaur and Snap can get it first. I think the way that Cat and Argus are playing this lane is very good. They're just constantly spamming. That way, if the lane pushes into the enemy, it's okay because you will get level 2 first, and that's what you gotta look at.
And it's much harder
Can't
to
let
go
the
on.
Centaur and Snapfire get it first.
Yeah. And then if there's a creep wave that's kind of massing up here, 3 creeps makes it much more difficult for Incubus to make a go on things.
I think Benja's just got to deny on that range there, so they didn't get to the 2 yet. And this could be potential right here. If he kills this creep, gets the ranged, is it going to be enough XP? Oh, it's still not enough. Yeah, okay.
Incredibly
We're
close.
good.
6.
Okay, they got the
6
2 now.
experience away.
They got the Bristle back. It's incredible, right? How in Dota, like, who gets 2 first, you know, and the initiation potential. There we go.
Straight onto the Bristle. Stomp and double edge. Doesn't look like it'll be enough to completely bring him down. They need the
got
final
him.
double edge with Benja's there under the tower.
There it is.
Cooldown, 4 seconds. 120, what, like 160 damage nuke.
Cat was pulling, and there's no magic stick on the Bristleback either. So, or Fairy Fire for that matter. In these kind of lanes as a Bristle, I do think Fairy Fire is a really nice item to pick up.
Yeah, his wand was just being delivered. He died as the courier was coming out. Inkswell onto the Snapfire. Yeah, Cat's got to be careful. They've not got a cookie, but
Oh,
Benja just
boy.
closes in on, misses the stomp though. Went for the double edge first, so Cat slips away.
If you went for the stun first, I think that would have been a kill there. But very fortunate for Cat. Gonna be able to chill. Bristleback is level 3 now. Got that level 2 Quill Spray. Big damage. Gonna be coming out from this BB at this point. Why don't we take a look at bottom area? We always, you know, that's one of our tendencies, you know. We get really mesmerized by one lane and the potential kills that can happen there.
Well, it's fine, you know, they did get a kill. They've definitely been putting pressure. And I've been keeping my eyes on the other lanes as well. Nothing really spectacular has been happening. A Burner's hit level 3. He's farming away. Top of the CS board. Greedy. Not doing too poorly here. But it seems like Dismar has kind of been not able to stay on the Kotal. The speedy old grandpa with his windlace, just running away from the Earth Spirit. And,
I guess the biggest focus is Greedy getting his farm, getting his experience in this lane. Because we've seen Darkseers, sometimes they tend to struggle a lot to get their farm, and they're still giving free farm to the enemy carry. This game, Slark is getting his free farm. Obviously, the #1 problem with Darkseer, but at least Greedy is getting his own gold and XP too.
Yeah, the Earth Spirit's more there to defend him rather than go for aggression as top lane. Again onto the Bristleback. Double edge comes off cooldown. He's got some stick charges and the Quill Sprays. Now an Inkswell. Bristleback turns it for a double. G-Pride stand the ground while Loretes kills Dismar down bottom. Greedy gets away from the tower. So at least in that bottom lane, something comes out for Burner.
That level 2 stroke, just sniping out that centaur. He had 10 magic stick charges, Gary.
Well, we've got the Pounce down bottom. Illuminate catches him.
Ooh, another kill. So both side lanes losing their offlaners.
Some good little turns there.
Under attack.
All right, how's the mid lane? We've again focused on these side lanes so heavily. Tau gets comboed. Drops incredibly low, but he's got Bottle Stick. And that Resonant Pulse to make him a little bit tankier. Does look like Black Soul's getting the upper hand as the Inkswell from Cat to try and stop the Dunhow Grandma from chasing him. Cookie Shredder already spent. Just dragging that support away from the lane while it looks like Argus trying to take out some neutral camps here in the meantime.
Yeah, mid lane's very interesting. Tao and Black Soul just flirting with each other a little bit and just gonna play for their bounties, their bottle regen. Let's see the rotations when Tao hits 6. Black Soul on his Tiny, he can rotate anytime. He's got that avalanche toss. Just constantly harassing Tao up. He's got a raindrop now, so that's gonna help him.
Every opportunity that Tiny gets. Bottom Burner. Ion Shells and the Surge Dismar.
He's blocked.
Vacuumed back into them. Now we see the strength of that double Ion Shell, right? Level 2 Ion Shell on both of them. Just chase the Slark down.
Yeah. You know, Gary, watching these two teams, I feel as if these guys are the top dogs of Division 2. Like, I can totally see these two teams being able to compete against the Division 1 guys. Maybe not like, you know, Thunder Predator and Beast Coast, but definitely against some of the mid, lower end Div 1 dudes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it feels like Gorillaz-Pride, especially with the addition of Cat, have definitely upped their game, you know, drafting and actual kind of macro game decision-wise. Much crisper than they were in the first season.
Tao.
Yeah, comboed. And they got a cookie. Nice to simulate dodge. And then Astral steps back up to his tower. Still heavily pressured though, and you were calling for that level 6 rotation, so that delays any movement the tower would want to make, while it looks like Black Soul.
He's so low.
Contesting the stacks. That Bristleback, is he going to get tomboed? The bottle charges, the avalanche toss gets the kill for Black Soul.
And the stacks, they're in danger. Got a tree grab in 5 seconds. Yeah, they're gonna clean up these creeps. Duna getting a really good ward out here now. Wanting to watch the rotations of the Bristleback. Like into the jungle, farming up.
Dismar's going to chase our Etis down bottom. Looks like a vacuum back will cancel that TP.
Dire's top tower is
So
under
yet another kill down bottom. Coming in for Greedy and Dismar.
Radiant structure.
Even after losing their lives, you know, that double kill for Etis early on kind of felt like it alleviated the pressure a bit, but now they hit like level 4, level 6 on these two heroes. They're just running, diving, creep waves, cutting back behind you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I would really like to
Pickoffs.
see Black Soul just make some kind of rotation onto this Darkseer Earth Spirit. Get a
top.
kill on him. They're killing Cat right now, yeah. It's been farming
Stampede's
here.
used. Inkswell doesn't land in time. Dismar's TP up here.
Oh, I
Doesn't
don't like
have
this
any-
TP from Dismar. This
Doesn't
is
have any backup.
Yeah, he doesn't have backup. Plus, he's just relieved all the pressure off bottom now. So he's going to stay up here. He's going to get some experience under this tower, but he's not making any offensive moves anymore. And that's going to be real bad for G-Pride. This Darkseer can't really do much by himself. Especially Black Soul comes down here and kills him.
And if they get the pounce on him, immediately burner with the help of the Illuminate, clipping the backside of the Darkseer. Shadow Dance, vacuum, tries to buy space, but Greedy gets killed off by that little fish boy.
And look at this, Mar. He's like rolling back to mid now. He realizes he messed up big time. But TP
Maybe they
to
can
that
catch
chair
Black
works out.
Soul. With the Ether Remnant and the Ink Swell, they stun him up, but Black Soul with Grow is pretty damn tanky. Just against these right clicks, and he actually turns and whacks the Void Spirit with
got
an
a
inch
stun
of his
in one,
life. The Astral Step,
avalanche
the
in
Fairy
one.
Fire. He's got the Avalanche stun and the finish. The killing blow onto the Void Spirit. Dismar and Cat, they're still trying to extend this one, but Dismar's been jumped by the cookie of Snapfire. Doesn't have a roll. He's salved up and wandering back into the trees. The nice stroke of fate does slow them down. And Dismar with another roll looks like he will manage to get away from them.
I think Tao's sense of cooldowns was all messed up because the Keeper of the Light's chakra magic onto the Tiny. That avalanche toss combo to him came back a lot quicker than he expected. And now he has died to the Tiny. Tiny level 8.5 has a Blink Dagger. Whoo, that's scary. 8-minute Blink Dagger.
Wow.
Here we go, TP mid. I don't think they can kill Tao though. He's got a range drop over 1000 HP.
They're gonna try.
They're gonna go though. Anyway.
There it is. They missed the cookie though. Very close to the chain stuns, but the vacuum into the wall catches all three of them. Stampede to try and
Stampede.
disengage. Get Black Soul out of there and give up your two supports.
What a bait by G-Pride there. They had a ward, they were ready to see if something occurs. Greedy came in with the wall combo, and that's why you couldn't go on Tao. You gotta check. He's got a range drop and over 1000 health.
Double null, one raindrop. Yeah, he's pretty tanky. He's 9 minutes in. So Blink reveal not accomplishing what they wanted, and in fact losing out more than they
Exactly.
would have gained. It does mean though your centaur up top, like tier 1's gone. He's got himself Vanguard, Hood. Probably going to head into the Blink Dagger next. Benjaz, he is the top net worth hero right now on the centaur. So they probably want to try and...
Last game, we saw him go for the Vanguard into the Dagger. This game, he's going for the Hood because of the ample amount of magic damage on the side of G-Pride, especially coming out from the Darkseer Ion Shell.
Cat trying to
Needs
make
to
up
be
some
able to tank
stacks.
into that. Cat,
And he gets
that's
jumped
a
by
good
Black
kill.
Soul. Try and finish him off with the little shredder. Cookie back Black Soul, while the Bristleback was thinking about taking out some of these little neutral camp stacks for himself. And Tao grabs up an Arcane Rune, Remnant the Tiny, roll from Dismar,
Greedy
stopped
here.
out. Nice little move by Retes. Tao does still have an Astral Step to disengage, and you're right, Greedy's there. He's able to hold them back, but the rest of Incubus arriving with a Cookie Stomp, catching out Greedy, and they should have enough
They got
damage
the
to finish him
Magpies.
off, but the Surge, not fast enough. They're TPing in pretty hard here to simulate, clears through, done out. Toss up, Black Soul, he's still up on this dire high ground, but a Stampede once again lets them jump in, jump out, get 2 core kills, trade the Snapfire for it, and they can stick around mid and pressure that tower with Centaur.
I think Tao's having a real rough time thinking about this Keeper of the Light's chakra magic. He's got to understand the Tiny's avalanche toss combo is going to come back like twice as fast. And you gotta be ready for that. This combo is like something that people used to run in the past. You don't really think about it anymore, but you gotta adjust to it. Keeper Tiny. I love it.
I think it's on what, like a 10-second cooldown if you've got that Keeper of Light putting Chakra Magic on you. Just keeps on going.
On the
Something
Avalanche,
does-
it's like an 8-second cooldown. If it's
Yeah.
maxed out. Yeah. If it's maxed out, it's gonna be...
I meant just like right now, 4 seconds on the Chakra Magic.
Right, yeah. And it really messes with your perception of like when the tombo is gonna be back up. Most people, they play around the cooldowns of the tombo, and Keeper of the Light just makes it very hard for you to deal with it.
And look at how defensive they are, like grouped up in their triangle, defending the Bristleback to farm, dewarding that ancient camp so they could actually try and build up some stacks. This Bristle hasn't really made a name for himself just yet. You know, he's got Hood, he's got himself that additional ring of health, going into what looks like an Aghanim Scepter next on the Bristleback.
What?
Yeah,
+1 Aghanims?
it's interesting, right? So he's not going to go for the full pipe or the Vanguard or yeah, just straight into Axe after. But
He
why?
just wants to... Hey, you gotta make the game easier for yourself, right? You're already spamming W, might as well just click Q, not have to target anything. You pretty much have like 2 kill sprays. Just run her in, QW, QW.
Just
press
roll
2
your hand
buttons.
on the keyboard.
Yep. Turn around if
Very
they attack you. Look forward if you need to attack them.
Well, we'll see how it does. And he's going to stick around in that mid lane. Hold out against Benja Centaur while down at bot. Black Soul TP's in onto Greedy, and the cookie catches him before he can surge away. Black Soul dominating.
Black Soul is becoming a huge problem for G-Pride right now. With his Blink Dagger just making all the space on the map. Slark has been completely uncontested at this point. He's the second highest net worth in the game. And somehow Benja's, once again, highest net worth hero.
It's
Like
Centaur,
every
man.
game, he's a real +1.
You're so good at farming with this, you know, max return, max double edge. He just goes, clears a wave, clears a couple of jungle camps, and he's incredibly tanky. So he's very difficult to isolate and kill unless you bring a mass amount of numbers to deal with a Centaur.
He's also gone for the full pipe instead of the Blink Dagger first. Maybe relying on the Tiny to do the initiation part.
Look
Just
at him.
wants to be that super tanky Centaur.
He is literally just standing in the mid lane, tanking the tower, retaliating back onto it. Very little that G-Pride can actually do to halt it. Just stacking up some of these little quill sprays and goo stacks. Benja's just going to salve up, reset. Plenty of HP regen as well. Like you mentioned, plenty of space for Burner. Echo Saber moving into Sanj and Yasha. And then we start thinking about those carry matchups. You know, Slark up against Darkseer, against the Void Spirit with the Leash, the Pounce, all the stuff to stop that maneuverability. And of course, against Bristleback. A beautiful hero to have is that Slark as the kisses land onto Greedy. Again, down
Did
bottom
he
lane.
just die there?
He did indeed. Same place, exactly the same heroes again. Tiny plus the Snapfire as Dismar's getting run at. Another Avalanche toss. Dismar. He's a pretty tanky Earth Spirit, but Black Soul can't finish off the job.
They want
Has to
Black
run
Soul.
back with his Haste Rune. He's forced to TP from Cat down there, so then that unlocks mid-tier 1. And everything's going the way of Incubus.
Yeah, and G-Pride are just not making any movements whatsoever onto this bottom tower or the mid tower now. They gotta open up the map. They got a Darkseer with like level 4 Ion Shell. He's got wall. Everything is looking good. But I'm surprised they're not making any aggressive moves. Okay, here we go. 15 minutes in. Their first smoke. Down to bottom.
They need that tier 1 so desperately. Snapfire
they
gets
really
a ward
do.
down. Gets scouted out. And grab her with the Ether Remnant. Chuck it all onto Donya.
This is what we need to see. We need to see more plays with the Void Spirit, with the Ion Shell and the Ink Swell on top of him. Just running at your enemy.
Oh my god. Oh, Dismar under a ward there. Picked off by the Tiny.
Radiant's bottom tower.
So it looks like the Dire team is like going all out Aghanims builds. I wouldn't be surprised if Tau and the Void Spirit's like, yeah, I'm going to buy one as well. Greedy's halfway there, or more than. Bristleback's going to have his pretty soon. Tau has saved up, what, 2,500 gold. It doesn't seem like he's quite sure. Oh, he goes for the Kaya. So we
Kaya.
might see that
He's gonna
Kaya
go for the
and
same
Sanj
build again.
Yeah?
I mean, I like it. Very good HP and status assist. Good thing it's not Kaya Yasha. My god.
Does anybody buy that item? Like, is there any hero that actually
Not
wants
anymore.
Kaya Yasha?
There was a time where OD
Lash?
bought it a lot,
Yeah, OD.
right? And even some Leshax, but then people realize it's just not good.
Oh, that blink
Status assist
away.
is just too good. Yep.
Tiny sees it
They don't
coming.
get him.
Smoke breaks, and they know there's high ground vision there. Cap.
Dire's middle
Cookied.
tower is under
Goodbye.
Avalanche toss. No, doesn't.
Nice silence.
It's silence
It was a
start.
silence.
Beautiful turn.
Really
With the
good
roll as well.
silence.
Dismal back on the Tiny. The kisses are coming, but great from G-Pride. Cap sucked them all in. And that great silence stops the Tiny.
Dire's bottom
Yep.
tower is under attack.
Very well played there.
Dire's
Get the Phantoms, embrace the follow up right after that. And Tao just able to clean up. He's got 1,000 gold now. He's almost got that Kaya Sanj. Oh. Ooh, Benjas going for a double edge first. I love these voice
Can't catch
lines.
the Void Spirit.
Honestly,
Your
Gary, this
anger
is
is
the best
useless.
thing that's happened to Dota, right? Voice lines, tipping.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's character. Very nice. Adds a bit of flavour to the game. Greedy. Again, down bottom. Completely isolated. Pounced,
We've seen
leashed,
this
and
movie
cookied.
before.
We have. He's what, 300 away from his Aghanims now. I think he lost his courier, which had the Blade of Alacrity on it, so he's still a little away. Bristleback has his now, so the Aghanim's timings are coming. But it's
Did he
still
just
so interesting
look
to
at
me
it?
that,
He
you
just
know,
good.
yeah, he just runs at them, spams the goose, spams the little cool sprays, and Benjas doesn't have Stampede. Gets a stomp onto the Bristle, the Tiny Avalanche toss combo onto Cat. Benjas still alive, and they've taken down Dismar. Benjas finally falls. The Bristleback, can he 1v3 here? With the help of Tau, it's now a 3v2. It looks like they just want to continue fighting.
he has
He's stacking
300
him up.
damage. He
The
should
minus
right-click.
armor. It's incredible. He's
right-click
got
him.
so much right click with the minus armor. He's going to kill off Black Soul. Tiny's down. The Bristleback is trying to juke around, but Burner vacuumed in. With Tau now facing up against him, another remnant.
He's
The wall
dead.
dropped onto him, and Slog's
I
gone.
can't believe it.
A five-man
It's so
wipe
good.
from G-Pride to slaughter Incubus.
There it is. I mean, the Bristleback has finally entered the video game. Look at him. They just go in. Nice size. Get the Kata kill first. This Bristleback is just spamming his Q. He's got like 8 stacks or something and plus
Yeah.
200 damage. And you can't really go onto this Bristol even as a Slark at this point in the game. Like, look at him. Look,
takes the
look when the
Slark so
Bristleback
long.
turns around and attacks the Tiny. How much damage he does. Boom. Chunked his health. Is actually so good. And don't forget, that Tiny has level 2 grow. That's 18 armor.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, what is 8
real
stacks
good
of
shit
goo?
right here.
That's minus 16 armor, yeah?
It's a
More.
lot. It's a lot. Like, math is hard, Gary. You
Yeah.
know, let's not put
lots.
it. Let's not put ourselves in the spot right now. It's a lot of
Let's just say
armor.
Tiny had no armor. Now that's found by Tau. He was struggling in the early game. The blink stomp, the chain stuns, catching out Tau, and he will die even through that Kaya and Sanj. Couldn't slip out of that.
Yeah, he still doesn't have the level 4 nasal goo yet, though. On the Bristleback, only level 15 at the moment. Only, I say, but very high level. Swark is level 17. He's actually doing really good on Burna. It's just a matter of him getting that lifesteal and being able to stay in the fight. So no way, he went for the 20 attack speed instead of the 18 lifesteal talent. How dare you?
Wow. Especially against the Bristleback. Like, you kind of need that lifesteal to just stay alive against Quill Sprays, don't you?
Yeah, I'm confused.
It helps
My
you
God.
roche. It's just so much it does for you, but also the fact that, you know, Echo Saber, Yasha into Skadi, would you have liked to seen a Silver Edge or something from Burner, or is that going to come later in the game?
I mean, he'll probably need one, but I think the lifesteal is probably the most important thing, so he can sustain through the Bristleback, the Quill Spray damage.
Or just look at him. They roll in onto the Snapfire. Great ink swell from Cat as well. Catching Dunnow, and they've silenced up the Snapfire. She'll cookie away. Avalanche toss from Tiny, trying to delay them, but in comes Tau. Pounced upon, leashed inside. The kiss is coming. Bristleback, he's about to die. He's falling quickly. There it is. Argus gone. Inside the wall, though, they're still fighting with the Magnetize, ticking them down. Benjaz up against Greedy. Speed away with a Surge and a Stampede. Reset as a 2-for-2. No tier 1 take either. Incubus,
So they
hold on.
trade.
Dire's top tower
They don't lose the tower. I would say at the end of the day, Incubus they're gonna be okay with that because they were the ones defending, and they came out with at least killing the position 1 Bristleback, which is nice. But G-Pride, that's a lot of XP going their way because they are behind right now, and they're gonna back
a lot
off,
of damage.
get some more levels.
A lot of damage done by Greedy there. The most in the team.
Oh
fight.
yeah, this is an Aghanim's Darkseer, so more damage from the Iron Shell, and then on top of that, it's actually giving HP to the Bristleback as well. And you know what HP does for Bristleback. He's got the
It's no
damage
joke.
reduction, he's got Eternal Shroud, the effective health that he gains from this Iron Shell is insane.
Yeah, of course, with the Bristleback, effective health means more damage, more quill sprays.
Yep, and 2 Iron Shells constantly running, Void Spirit and the Bristle. Look at this Void right now, 2.4k HP.
Yeah, and then we start thinking, Tau, like you were mentioning, struggled against the Chakra Magic Titan. Now Titan's going to be struggling against this additional HP to kind of study and figure out who we can go on. They jump the Bristleback.
Got a shard.
He's got his Eternal Shroud going, and he is just turning to battle with them. There's no kisses. The Avalanche Toss looking for Tau, but he's got that Kaya Sand, so he's actually able to withstand all that damage and disable. Greedy being jumped on by Burner. The Slark is looking for any target he can go on. Stampede and Stomp, catching out the Bristleback. The wall is dropped. Where's the vacuum? No mana, and it's already on cooldown. But Argus is able to just dip back, get onto the high ground as Dismar rolled in with a Magnetize and holds Incubus away from this fight. He is out of there. Aretes. Oh, careful, buddy. Gottel. I'll roll away with Dismar. Tau, he was going for that, but Slark is still chasing onto Argus. Burner, he wants the Bristleback, he wants Greedy, but he can't have any of them. These don't belong to you. To simulate damage, and onto Aretes and to Burner. Soulbind comes, Cat stances them up, they get the catch. Slark is down, Aretes falls, Benja's stuck. Kisses are coming in though, Dismar and Greedy being blasted by Mortimer, but they've got the backstab from Tau. Stops the kisses, finds Black Soul's Tiny, and G-Pride have done it. They've cracked this one wide open. Another huge team fight and probably a 5-man wipe incoming. Benjas, he's trying to deal with Argus, but the Inkswell and the Quill Spray stacking up on the Centaur gives Tau a killing spree and another huge victory for G-Pride.
Oh my god, this is crazy. I love this. Darkseer, Iron Shell, Bristleback, Inkswell on him. That's a 5-man wipe. All they lose is the Earth Spear. Actually, 6-man wipe. Kato died back there. And the Kato's the one with the Spear Vessel too. They keep trying to go on the Bristleback. Stop! Guys, you gotta kill the Darkseer, the Grim. You gotta get the easy targets, get them out of the way. I understand Bristleback Aghanims. He might look annoying, but he's also feeding you a lot of Magic Wand charges. So you can always use that to your advantage. Like right now, the Bristleback's damage output is not super high because he's only got the utility items. But now that he's got an Aegis, okay, you're 100% gonna have to ignore him. So hopefully, Incubus, they will look for better targets. They keep going on the Bristle, and he just gets all these quills and Bristleback quills off, and it takes so much damage.
Yeah, now he's got Aegis. He's got a pipe on this Darkseer to keep him healthy too.
My god, this is crazy.
And the Void Spirit is going Ags. He's got it, actually. Tau, the triple Ags build from G-Pride.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about
very
it,
tanky.
but I'm sold. I'm sold on this Darkseer and Bristleback Aghanim's rush, yeah.
I mean, wait till the Darkseer drops the Iron Shell on the Void Spirit, right? He's gonna be at 2.8k health. And it's only 24 minutes into the game. Talk about tanky Void Spirit.
Yeah, with status resistance.
And the biggest problem right now for Incubus is they're out of vessel charges. Kato doesn't have any more vessel charges. So what do? How are you gonna bring heroes on? You gotta get a smoke going. You gotta find Cat. Cat is the best kill you can get on the start of Incubus. There's like a high, like how much you need to invest into killing the hero versus how much he's doing in the fights. He's the most valuable hero to kill.
Like your expected value from getting that kill is massive.
Exactly. This Inkswell is too much in these fights. Stark gets completely destroyed by the Phantom's Embrace as well. Like you gotta get this Grim.
G-Pride just gonna mount up and head down bottom. Tier 2 gets glyphed, trying to clear that creep wave. And Incubus making a move of their own, completely dodging this fight. They want to try and trade out Tier 2s, it appears. Not wanting to meet their opponents head on. But again, it's like options for G-Pride. They could maybe force high ground, get them to TP back. They could go to mid Tier 2, or The third option, which I was just about to come to, G-Pride, if you just calm down for a second, is TP and come and defend. Looking for targets. They won't find anybody, but they have forced the Radiant team back, so there isn't a trade on those towers.
They got the tier 2 first, so they can get the bottom outpost.
Middle tower is
Top
under attack.
just low enough. And Incubus is avoiding all the fights. They're like, guys, we can't team fight into this Bristleback Aegis and this Darkseer wall combos and ion shells. It's just way too much. Slark, he's the one getting gone on.
Remnant.
Silence.
Burner. Oh, the
Just enough
Shadow
to get
Dance.
health off. Yep.
They're still going
Got
for him,
3k
though.
health.
Oh, they don't keep the Magnetize on him.
Is under attack.
And Black Soul's there. Avalanche and hold them back.
Is under attack.
It was a good attempt. They would have killed him had he not had 3,200 health on his Slark.
Oh, they find Cat. Grimstroke up near the outpost. He was trying to set up for a TP up there, maybe a go onto this Grimstroke, onto the Snapfire or the Centaur.
Is under attack.
This might be it,
They're
Gary.
able
This
to-
might be the time where Incubus should try to smoke up and make more plays happen. They have kisses on cooldown, but that's okay.
Tower is under
You,
attack.
the Grimstroke is dead, so they won't be having that Ink Swell and the Phantom's Embrace to worry about. But there's no vision on the bottom side of the map. They can't just go in blindly.
But they're able to spread out on this map. Bristleback just going to push out bot. And this bottom jungle is a no-go zone for Incubus right now. As they look at Dismar and Tau under this observer board. They are just... yeah. Is that yellow drawing that line? Looks like Slark is saying, hey, they've got vision here. They're probably standing around it. I do not want to go down there.
It might be yellow or it might be Tau. They both kind of
Yeah.
look similar on the minimap. I think it
couldn't-
was Tau. He's like, just camp this ward. Wait for them to come in here.
I couldn't quite tell. Well, they will dodge it regardless as Incubus don't even go for a D-ward or anything. Play into their own vision instead up towards top where Benjaz on his Centaur with his nice little Snapfire have been waiting ever so patiently for somebody like Cat to come and appear.
Oh,
Get a D-ward.
he sees one.
Arates gets away from the Ether Remnant.
So
A
fast.
speedy
518
Cottle.
movement speed.
Tranquil's Windlace, yeah, incredibly speedy. Oh, and they missed the D-ward again. Cat just can't find this observer. He knows there's vision somewhere. Yeah, a third sentry dropped and he finally gets it.
Yeah. I feel in this current patch, buying gems right before the late game is very important. Because the sentries, you go through them very quickly. They did reduce the radius of the sentry in the last patch. And you're spending way more sentries nowadays than before, even if it is cheaper. And I do think G-Pride at some point, they're going to need a gem, especially playing up into the Slark. Oh, burn
Oh,
a
the
silence.
Phantom's Embrace. I
fine,
don't
it's only
chain
2 hits.
disable him. And holding on to that triangle high ground, waiting for G-Pride to break up that ramp. Incubus
They lost
in
the
a
Aegis
good
now.
spot.
That is something.
Can't get some high ground vision though, and it looks like they want to try and break up here onto the tier 3s. That'll force Incubus away from their own vision to come down, defend that tower as the pounce in from Slark. Oh dear, that's problematic. He's going to get stunned and
Oh, he's
silenced,
dead.
and Slark is just dead. Black Soul and Benjaz, they jump in. The kiss is onto Tower, but the disengage from G-Pride, they can just walk it off. The
This
wall
doesn't
is
look
there.
good for
The
Incubus.
barrier causing issues for Incubus.
Okay.
And a buyback from Slark as G-Pride like, right, nice, we got a kill on him. We get him to buy back. Now we just go push out our lanes, control the rest of the map.
Yep, they're like, let's get top in, let's get mid in. We got 2 towers top. Slark has just used his buyback. His game is essentially over unless they can win the next team fight convincingly. Like, that's all the gold down the drain. Since the time he bought Scotty, every single piece of gold he accumulated is gone just from that one play. All he did was pounce in onto the Bristol and died because he's not killing the Grim first. That Phantom's Embrace is just too much for the Slark to deal with, Gary.
Everyone's got to turn and face it. Save Burner at all costs.
They gotta kill the Grim. I mean, I can't emphasize that anymore. Anytime this Grim is gonna be alive, Incubus have almost no shot at actually winning a team fight.
Whose job is that? Tiny, Centaur?
Yep,
I
exactly.
guess the two main
Stampede,
ones.
Tiny, go in, get in there, get some kisses going. Because the Grim doesn't really want to use Soulbind onto this Tiny, especially with his status assist, and he's probably going to go in alone anyway.
Oh,
Remnant-
burner. Ether Remnant
not
with the
again,
silences, vacuum back, force the Shadow Dance.
He's
Decent
good, he's good.
cooldown expended.
Yeah,
And they've got a
as long as
catapult here
he's-
coming in, so
I'm not so sure I like this play. Just going to the high ground like this, they could get tossed back, and that could be really bad. Black Soul is waiting for it. He's waiting
it's
for a
just
good
Argus
target to
showing
toss
himself,
in.
though. And
I mean,
Greedy
tossing
has
the
his
t-
Hyper
yeah,
Mech
tossing the
behind him.
Bristle.
They're tossing the Bristle back into the tier 4s. Stampede, Avalanche, and Augeas. You are spot on, Theban. Mistakes made by G-Pride, putting that Bristle back alone on the front lines. They throw the wall.
is not a
Greedy
fight
now
they
going to
can
get
win.
chased down. The vacuum on
Where are
towards
they
them with the
going in?
Soulbind. They're still going to fight it. Roll in from Dismar with the BKBs from the Radiant. They whack into them. Greedy avalanched up and the kisses are landing. Disengage G-Pride because you don't have a fight here anymore. Tau trying to TP home. Oh God, it's close. There, he gets home. Dismar and Cat are the only heroes in that secondary team fight. Now, two lose their lives. Greedy gets away from Benjaz. Tau surviving there. A stroke of luck for G-Pride.
Yeah, they really dropped the G-Pride. You need to realize there's objectives top lane. You don't have Aegis. Roshan might already be spawning. And you're playing into a Tiny. So that was such a cocky move from G-Pride to go for the high ground there. And now they're going to lose Roshan as well. And the game is in Incubus's hand once again. Assuming G-Pride cannot defend this Roshan. But I hope they do.
I swear it's a repeat of game one, though. Back and forth.
Back and forth, yep.
Honestly, if you look at the graphs, yeah, exactly. They look the same, but like
Yeah.
inverted, right? Because they're on different sides of the map this time.
Incubus didn't check Roshan though. It's been up for like 20 seconds now.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity on their end. And now G-Pride, they have a chance to just go and get this Aegis. They got way more rush damage as well, thanks to that fish nasal goo. You know, I always read the viscous nasal goo as vicious nasal goo. I'm like, damn,
yeah.
nasal goo can be vicious?
Vicious. I think a lot of people saw that. You're not alone. Don't you worry. And yeah, you're into the Roche pit as G-Pride. They're the ones that scout in as a long line drawn out by Tiny. Wants to wrap around into that top outpost. It looks like they'll smoke. Benjaz
Dire's middle tower.
gonna try and lead the charge. Slock's still in the Radiant base though. He's incredibly close to BKB. He sells his one to buy it. That's how fast he knows he needs to be.
Yeah,
TP's
I
up
mean-
top.
This play from G-Pride salvaged Burna's game when they got that kill onto the Bristleback. And now he's got that BKB
Soloing
ready.
Roshan.
Oh, Tao, he's got
Stacking
the
up
arcade rune.
sticky. Tau jumps out. Burner gets kicked up onto the high ground. Remnanted and kind of stuck up there, but the blink stomp onto Dismar. Catching the Earth Spirit, launching the kisses. Avalanche thrown in as well, but the Soulbind comes, and they do blow up that Earth Spirit. The wall, though, pretty good from Greedy. And a buyback from Dismar as the backline's being stabbed in. Tau
Artes, oh my
snipes
God,
out
he's dead.
Dunya, and Artes has gone to Augeas. Roshan's been cracked wide open. Benja's trapped inside the Remnant once more, and G-Pride with just that one buyback of Dismar. Great victory around the Roche pit. Forcing
done.
double buybacks from the Radiant support.
arcade
Central
rune is
without one.
insane.
Tau diving in onto the console. Aretes four staff away. Nice little gold pull up. And Black Soul with a tombow onto Tau. The Void Spirit's falling with the Resonant Pulse. And the Iron Shell heal. The HP comes in and he jumps back away. Aretes down. The dieback of Kotal and the Snapfire to Centaur and the Tiny. They've got to return to this fight. Burner stacking up the Agi stacks with that Essence ship. But he's got no HP left. Tiny's on the run and Benja's with a minus armor. Minus 17 armor. Just gets whacked down with a couple of
Just like
hefty
game
hits
one
from
game.
Augeas, and that's got to be it. One fight to rule them all, and G-Pride with a single buyback dominate Incubus.
Wow. You know, the thing that destroyed this entire team fight was the Bristleback getting top of the Kato, and then the Void Spirit Arcane Rune just being able to control up all these heroes so easily. Like, when you see that Arcane Rune Void, you gotta get help. You really can't fight into it unless you can dispel it in some way, which they can't on the side of Incubus. A Centaur dieback, Kato dieback, a lot of gold going the way of G-Pride. Incubus, man, this gotta feel, this is like flashbacks to game one here for them.
Tau picks up a quickening charm on top of his fresh Octarine core.
Now he's got
he doesn't need Arcane Rune
permanent
anymore.
Arcane Rune. Yep, it's like a permanent Arcane
Yep.
Rune at this point.
And they've got to know with all these buybacks, they've got a solid minute here where they can take tier 3, probably 2 lanes of barracks, mid and bottom.
Yep.
Do you consider going tier 4s? Or do you want to really solidify your lead right
You
now?
solidify this game. You don't have that much physical damage break buildings. You go for the opening yourself up to being
Oh, yeah.
thrown into the fountain. Very good kill from Tal.
Oh no, Kotal. 50 seconds. Dismar's rolled in here, but he's got the ink spell on him in the silence on Burner. The Ether Remnant drags him in. The Dark Pack's there. He's forced to BKB. Turns and whacks, but the Yule Scepter from Earth Spirit allows a bit of space for Dismar to force Staff away as the Soul Bind connects onto Snapfire, and Tau a little bit stuck, but he's so tanky and still holds onto that cheese. So another Dissimulate, the roll in, the stun, the 3-man vacuum. They catch them all inside of it.
That's it.
Outlash Charge, it kills Dismar, but that's got to be it.
Radiant's bottom
Slark dead for 120 seconds.
Dire's bottom
And G-Pride with 4 heroes still alive in the Radiant base. Can start clearing through the tier 4s and now the throne.
He's got some hope though. He wants to be able to toss someone into the fountain. That's what he's thinking about right now. And Cat's like, don't go near the fountain, guys. Stay at the tier 4s. You can see him pinging. Oh,
There's a
there it
toss.
is. Oh, blink
The
back.
blink into the
Nice
fountain.
stun.
The stomp
Okay.
onto Argius. He's got Aegis though. That's a Bristleback with 2 lives, and Aretes just dies. The Quill sprays in the fountain. He turns his back, and GG is called. They can't stand up against the Bristleback. He's too bloody powerful. Imagine dying in your fountain like that. Oh, we tossed the Bristleback into the fountain. Oh, we lost our Kotal. 2 games in a
Okay.
row.
That was such an epic
A
game.
roller coaster of a series. Not just that game.
They were
right?
ahead. Yeah, this whole series exactly. I mean, it was such